have is our ability to overcome and grow through adversity. Let me say it again. I believe the most important tool that we have is our ability to overcome and grow through adversity. And so today we're talking about 5 steps to overcome adversity. Like I said, everybody's either going through it, going to have it, about to have it, coming out of something. So here we go. You guys are going to get it this morning. Your ability to grow stronger through adversity is the number one tool for success. Remember, hear me again. Your ability to overcome and grow stronger through adversity is the number one tool for success. It's the difference maker. Your ability, your tool to grow through adversity, it is the difference maker. It is inevitable. Adversity is inevitable. Everybody goes through it. Everybody goes through it. Adversity can make you or it can break you. Adversity can make you or it can break you. Adversity can make you question yourself. Adversity can make you question yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I headed in the right direction? Adversity can make you do that. Adversity can punch you in the face, punch you in the mouth. It can blindside you. Adversity can blindside you. It can come out of nowhere. So adversity will keep you coming. It's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? Adversity is a part of life. Adversity causes some to break down, some people to shut down in companies, in individuals, and in teams. You know what I'm saying? In parts of groups. Adversity does that. That's what adversity does. Adversity also can make you small scale or it can be a big problem. It can be something small as just how to fix this, or it can be something big, something about how to pay the rent, how to take care of your children, a sickness, an illness, whatever it may be. But there are keys that are simple. I'm going to give you guys 5 keys that are simple on how to grow, how to overcome and go through adversity today. Number one, you overcome and grow strong through adversity is by being prepared. By being prepared, that's number one. Somebody type in the word preparedness. Number one, preparedness. Prepare yourself for every situation and prepare yourself for the pitfalls. So that means before you go into the situation, prepare yourself for if these things happen. If these things don't go right, prepare yourself. What are you going to do? So what if you happen? What happens if you have pitfalls? What happens if X happens? What are you going to do? So you want to prepare yourself. Prepare makes you never be surprised. If you're prepared, you're never surprised. Because remember, you already mentally went through it. If you prepared in your mind, what if the relationship breaks up? What if the situation, what if the job acts up? You know what I'm saying? What if the government messes up? What if you get sick? What if the doctor's report come back? It prepares you. What are you going to do? Preparedness discovers your potential problems. It also lets you have a plan on how to answer those things. It allows you to have an answer. So if you went through it in your mind, it allows you to prepare. What is your plan? What is your plan? So you're not blindsided. So number one, still is prepared. Prepare causes you to think through what you would do. It causes you to think through what would you do if this happens. So number one way, key of overcoming and growing strong through adversity is being prepared. Number 2 is practice. Practice is mandatory. No one is great by knowledge alone. Nobody is great by knowledge alone. You got to practice. I can't tell you as a former professional athlete how many times I had to practice backpedaling over and over, millions and millions of times. So practicing your skill set, practicing your ability to do what it is that you do best. Practice what is necessary for you to do. You have to practice. You have to role play. You have to dress rehearsal. What if they say this? What if they say that? What if this happens? What if that happens? You have to practice. So number 2 way of overcoming and growing strong through adversity is practicing. You gotta practice. I don't know how many times I backpedal, how many times I practice tackling, whatever it is, whether it's sales calls, whether it's dealing with customers, whatever it may be, whether it's dealing with problems, overcoming problems, you have to practice. Corey knows how many times you had to practice getting out them blocks, man. How many times you had to work on that acceleration phase. You know what I'm saying? Many times. You have to practice. You have to role play. Act like somebody said something different than what you was expecting them to say. What would you say back? You have to rehearse. What is it going to look like if it don't go exactly your way? So the number 2 way of growing strong and overcoming stronger through adversity is practicing. Practice makes you ready when it happens. Practicing makes you ready when it happens, because now when it happens, it's not a surprise because you've already rehearsed it. You already went through it. So what am I saying basically? What I'm saying is a way to not be surprised, not act like things supposed to go a certain way. And now I'm surprised because you practiced it. You practiced the good. You practiced the bad. You practiced everything already. So that's the number 2. So number 1 way is being prepared. Number 2 way is practicing. Number 3 way is having an execution mindset. You know what I mean? Your job is to perform. Remember, your job is to perform. Having an executional mindset is your job is to perform. Your job is to get it done. That's your job. Do your job. That is your job, just to do your job. So that means no matter what happens, no matter what's going on, your job is just to do your job and get it done. You have to develop the mindset that perform whenever it's time. Whenever it's time, you perform. It's time to perform. It's time to get things done, to do your job. That's the third thing of overcoming and growing stronger through adversity is doing your job. The same thing with execution mindset. You need a routine to help you win the moment. What about your routine? A lot of people are just doing things by haphazardness. They're just walking, and they're just going just basically how it comes up. But you got to have yourself a routine so you can win the moment. Maybe you take a deep breath. Maybe you visualize, whatever it may be. I'll never forget, I used to watch film so much of my opponent that way that when I got in certain situations, you know what I'm saying, in the down and distance, and they were lined up a certain way, a certain routine, a certain formation, in my mind, I prepared myself so much that I was able to anticipate what they were about to do. Same thing for you. You have to know. You have to have a routine so much that you prepare yourself so when it happens, you're ready to execute and you're able to do your job. And number 4, we talked about number 1, being prepared, how to overcome and grow strong through adversity, being prepared. Number 2, practicing. Number 3, have an executional mindset. Number 4, being willing to grow and acquire new knowledge. We don't know it all. We don't know it all. There's things that we need to know. Things are always changing. The economy is always changing. Technology is always changing. Regulations always changing. You know what I'm saying? Healthcare is always changing. Things are always changing. But we have to be willing to grow and acquire knowledge. That means be willing to ask questions. Find a mentor. Find somebody who's done it before. Find somebody who's already overcome it before. And you have to be able to understand that you have to grow and acquire knowledge. You need new information. You know what I'm saying? Be reminded that the old processes, they don't work. The old way of doing things, they don't work. But you need new processes. You need new ways of doing things. And the way you do that is by asking questions. Humble yourself. Ask questions. Get some new knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself out there by asking questions. Put yourself out there by allowing yourself to learn and to grow. So that's the 4th thing, being willing to grow and acquire new knowledge. And number 15, the 5th thing of growing stronger and overcoming through adversity is set up a system to handle surprises and the unknowns. Set up a system to handle the surprises and the unknowns, to handle things that come out of the blue. What is your system? How are you going to handle things that come out of the blue? How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do? Set up a system. What are you going to do? If this happens, this is what I'm going to do. If this happens, this is what I'm going to do. If this doesn't happen, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Things not prepared or practiced. What about those things that you haven't prepared for? What are those things about that you haven't practiced? How are you going to do it? Do you have a system to handle those surprises? Do you have a system? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have a resource? Do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody you can go to? You know what I'm saying? They're already prepared to basically handle those situations that come out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. You want to be ready because your adversity mindset will automatically go into the process to handle it. Remember, we all have an adversity mindset. We all have that. We all have the ability to overcome adversity. We all have the problem solving ability, you know what I'm saying, within us. But you want to make sure that you'll be ready because your adversity mindset will automatically go into the process. So by setting up a system to handle the surprises, that mindset that you have will automatically click into gear to help you go ahead and to be ready. You know, so be ready when adversity comes. And the last thing, after a while, nothing can surprise you. You think about that. After a while, nothing can surprise you. So that means that you can overcome and grow stronger through adversity because nothing will ever surprise you because you've set up a system to handle your surprises and your unknowns. And so there you have it. Those are 5 quick tips on overcoming and growing stronger through adversity. Number 1, remembering that adversity always happens. It's inevitable. It's always going to happen. It can make or break you. It can punch you in the mouth. It can It can be broken down into smaller pieces. You don't have to be an adversity expert to overcome adversity. But what you do need to do is you need, number one, you need to be prepared. Number two, you need to practice. You need to practice, you need to role play, you need to, you know what I mean, you need to understand and think about what are you going to do when things do happen. Number three, you got to have an execution mindset, which basically says it's not somebody else's problem, it's not someone else's job, it's your job to execute, to get the job done. Number four, you have to be willing to grow and acquire knowledge. That means you need to be humble yourself and understand that you don't know it all. You may know a lot, but there's more for you to know, more for you to grow through that as well. And number five, you need to set up a system to handle surprises and unknowns. That way, after a while, nothing can ever surprise you. Nothing can ever surprise you. You practiced it, you've been prepared, you're ready because your adversity mindset will kick into gear to get you ready for whatever comes up. Because again, we all have it in us that once an adversity comes, we click into gear to how to solve it. But by practicing, by being prepared, by having an execution mindset, by being willing to grow and acquire new knowledge, lets you be ready to handle anything. So I hope that was helpful for somebody. You know what I'm saying, as you go throughout your day, because I guarantee you today something may happen that you did not expect to happen today. So again, we look at this. Yes, exactly. We look after 2020. Somebody said never unknown, but we're still moving forward the right way. Exactly, Patricia. Listen, nobody expected what happened in 2020, but again, adversity comes. We keep going. You're here in 2021. We're acquiring new knowledge. We're being prepared. We're being prepared now. We're practicing. We're having an execution mindset. We're being willing to grow and acquire new knowledge. What do we need to do? And we're setting up a system to handle these surprises and unknowns. So I hope that was helpful for somebody. I hope somebody is able to apply something to their life today and able to provide yourself for the rest of this week, because you're going to run through adversity. So